I wonder if part of the deal in Elon Musk re-injecting funds into Republican midterm and other elections is that they've made a trade for the HB1 visas. And I don't necessarily have a problem with the idea of having immigrants come into this country who have skills that we don't, that people don't have here. I mean, Trump brings it up in this interview, but we said it at the time. There was a plant in, was it in Georgia?
Yes.
And it was an electric car plant, right?
Hyundai.
Hyundai. And Hyundai had brought in about 300 to 400 Korean workers who had been trained in building, I think it was like the batteries.
Yeah, the electric battery.
And they were there ostensibly both to ramp up production and to train U.S. workers on this technology. And
No,
I think
Stephen
it was
Miller's watch.
And I think, well, I think there was like a local congresswoman or somebody running for Congress who saw Koreans there and called ICE. And ICE came in and arrested like 300 of these guys. And they were treated horribly, of course, like ICE does for all the people they arrest.
I mean, just a snapshot of the insanity of our time where we're falling behind in these sort of advanced manufacturing processes and having people come in on it, and then we sick our Gestapo on them.
Right. And so then Trump had to go and kiss South Korea's ass and apologize, et cetera, et cetera. But the idea that we're going to allow HB1 visas as sort of like a backdoor way to get cheaper labor is messed up. But also, we should just allow immigrants in, period.
Give them citizenship.
Yeah, this whole story is really controversial for Nazis.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
The criticism of the H-1B from people like Bernie or the left broadly is that it's not an immigration program. It's a bonded labor program that doesn't lead to immigration except in a small number of cases.
Exactly. If we have a clear and easy path to citizenship for all immigrants, it would be much better. But here's Trump basically doing I guess, sort of like a 180 on this, and he's doing it in, this is going to cause problems. There is, let's be clear, we played that clip of Kevin Roberts, the head of the Heritage Foundation, having to go in front of all of the Heritage employees and do a struggle session around his coming out and defending Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. And all of a sudden, people at the Heritage Foundation, like, they're going, it's like Casablanca, and they're going, like, gambling here? Wait, what? You guys are supporting Nazis? And Kevin Roberts said, no, we're not. Of course not. No, that was a mistake. I accidentally supported Nazis.
I was making a point about free speech. And then even in that instance, he also said, like, but we also have to be honest. Nick Fuentes has a lot of followers. And the part that he didn't articulate, which was sort of understood, is in the Venn diagram, like, we can't have a conservative movement if we kick those people out. No. That's what he's saying. We can't have a functioning conservative movement, particularly amongst young people, if we kick those people out. Because really, I mean, he's looking around. Like, come on, really, guys. who are we kidding here? But here is Donald Trump bumping up against one of those nativist, revanchist, racists, Laura Ingraham, who you recall, she and Mark Levin were some of the biggest voices rallying against George W. Bush in his attempt to introduce immigration reform.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out.
Pause it for a second. There's a couple of things that we need to explicate here. When he says they, what he means is me. Yeah. When he says they raided, he means my administration raided, not they. Isn't it they? Who was the they? It wasn't like some rival car company. Chevrolet raided the Hyundai factory. All right, go back a little bit.
Also, saying there's no talent in this country, like, how is that not a huge scandal amongst the MAGA
Because
people?
they will eat it, man.
Well,
it's so crazy.
They'll eat anything. Like, can you imagine if can you imagine, like, Kamala Harris said there's no talent in this country? We need HB1 visas because there's no talent in this country?
Like, Indian politician says.
I love America.
Incidentally,
Yeah.
but the reality is this. The interest that he protects believe that the American worker needs to get into the fields, whether they're on Medicaid, whether they're on disability, they need to get into the fields. They can do those jobs. But we need, when it comes to any type of like jobs that might be a little more high paying, we need to bring in indentured servants to keep those wages low. And also, I would imagine, there's also probably a worker organizing concern there too at that level of skilled worker because, you know, in the old system that Detroit had for making cars, you'd have a small shop that was making ball bearings, and there's 50 people in that shop, and if they decide to go on strike, you're shutting down half the production of your entire car company. So there are choke points, and I would imagine a decent amount of those HB1 visas are strategically workers who you wouldn't want to organize.
You sure you want to start a union?
Exactly. You could start a union, but they will come and raid your...
That's why, like, this is not going to be good for H1 workers on H1Bs. Like, they're going to be under the pressures that they've always been, even more so.
Definitely.
Talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out.
They wanted
people from South Korea that
Hyundai.
made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, look at her! Look at her face.
I know.
Not happy. Not happy.
She does sound like her jaw's wired shut. How do we do that back in the day? We used to do that.
I hope to one day grow up and work in the missile factory.
One day I was in the unemployment line. The next thing you know, I was making warheads.
And let's be clear. I mean, some of the H-1B visas are of that ilk.
like where we don't have the ability. We're bringing in a company that has a specific technology that we don't have a particularly trained workforce here. And, like you're bringing in a battery, like there's only so many people in Georgia who are going to be skilled at building batteries.
Yeah.
And so they bring in these workers temporarily for a period of time. I think that's fine, and they train, but I have a feeling that a lot of times it's abused.
And, Ingram having the absolute wrong analysis, being like, we need to stop this to raise the wages of American workers. Why are we importing having Korean workers come here to teach us how to do this stuff? Why is Korea so good at that? It's because Korea had a massive state investment in these sorts of programs that we aren't doing.
Everything we do is just simply some type of workaround to enrich somebody else. As long as somebody's making money, except for the workers, then that's it. It's a fascinating system. Like everything is like that calculation of the GDP going up if you get robbed and have to go out and buy a new TV. GDP goes up. But the word has gone out, and so all the little Trump cronies, they have gotten their marching orders. And here is one of these guys who just absolutely goose steps right in line. What's this guy's name again?
Scott Jennings.
Scott Jennings on CNN.
A hefty application fee, which means not just anybody can walk in here willy-nilly. You got to be serious.
I thought it was America
I
first.
think you should also make note.
Are you against H-1Bs?
That hefty application
I'm America first.
fee is also.
So you're
something-
against all immigration?
No, of course not. And I'm not against H-1Bs either. What I'm against is pretending that you are somebody that you're not, pretending that you believe in something that you're not, trying to sell the American people on something and pretend like you were supporting it the entire time, and then putting you guys in a position to defend something that you definitely wouldn't defend if it were any other person.
You said you're America first. I just don't think that they're mutually exclusive. You can be America first and also recognize that there may be times you could import talent from other countries that makes America stronger.
Also, let me just say, this $100,000 fee is just a way to concentrate power more.
That's how you make sure it only delivers for the wealthy. Because isn't there doctors and people in medical?
Of course, definitely.
And you're going to make the hospitals shell for that? No.
Of course.
It's just going to be the tech billionaires.
Of course.
Who are using it explicitly for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Well, how else would we know you're serious?
Exactly. That's how we know you're serious.
Yeah, it's the money. How else would we ever know anything serious?
Also recognize that there may be times you could import talent from other countries that makes America stronger. We've done that for decades.
But that's not Donald Trump's.
Oh, pause it. Hold on for 1 second. Did I just hear him say that you can import talent from other countries to make America stronger?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good argument for immigration. Writ large.
Yeah.
We're going to boomerang so hard on immigration.
Scott Jennings is a lefty.
From other countries that makes America stronger. We've done that for decades.
But that's not Donald Trump's position.
It's literally what he just said.
Today.
It's literally what he just said.
I mean, I also think that this is not unique to H-1Bs. There are a lot of types of labor that immigrants actually do in this country that help the United States economy. And Trump doesn't seem, I guess maybe the home health workers and the hospital workers haven't gotten to him yet, but those immigrants also count
Well,
too.
the seasonal workers who used to work in Mar-a-Lago got to him because he used to hire undocumented immigrants all the time until he got busted for doing that. And he had no problem shipping jobs overseas to produce his products. But, now he runs for president. He's America first all of a sudden. People believed it.
Ahead.
There's also a couple of IMers are noting that there's a provision in the EO about the $100,000 that Trump can waive that fee.
Oh.
For at his discretion. One of the things I think earns a waiver is how much of your crypto holdings are in Trump coin.
Exactly. Look at this guy. He's a pro-America. He wants to make America great.
Fee.
Yes.
This guy wants to make America great.
I'll waive the fee for my next wife that I bring in.
Wu-Tang Clan, as an unemployed tech worker, we've seen massive IT cuts from multiple companies. I work with H-1Bs, and they're almost all great people, but they're basically in indentured servitude, and they're undercutting my wages and replacing employees.
Yep. That's why people like Elon and Trump like it.
We make $100K, then we save on the salaries.
Stephen Miller's hairline would love to see Jennings try to work on a farm and claim it doesn't take talent. This little bitch would fold in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Ryan from Rochester, in past wartime, skilled workers were purposely prevented from going to fight and instead kept at home to help train more skilled workers. My great-grandfather, incidentally, from Worcester, Mass., was a highly skilled machinist during World War I and was kept home to make early torpedoes and train machinists in Rhode Island. He had to drive down there to work and drive home on weekends. Worcester was actually a big manufacturing town for weapons at that time.
My great-grandpa way out in Williston, North Dakota, was taught people welding during the war.
There you go.
My grandparents fought.
Grandma too?
I mean, they fought each other.
Oh.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.